Yeah, okay, we'll get to the HomePod's features in a second, but first and most importantly, the black and white versions are the same price. Apple learned something, they cost the same. Jokes aside, what actually took me by surprise when looking at the HomePod was that the iPhone compatibility goes all the way back to the iPhone 5S. It makes sense from a business perspective. Apple may want to push customers to upgrade their phones, but the more iPhone owners that can use the HomePod means, well, more HomePod sales in theory. I do like the design too. I think having the shell be nothing but fibre mesh gives the impression that you're not missing out on any sound. I know the aesthetic doesn't actually dictate the audio quality, but when visually comparing this to, say, the Amazon Echo, it gives a better first impression, as if you're getting more sound for your money. But as for the actual sound quality, one of the key features is dynamic low-frequency tuning for clear bass, so that no matter the song, the bass can be altered accordingly to keep the sound clear, so none of that muffled rumbling. Another interesting feature is that if you own more than one HomePod, for some reason, they can detect and balance each other, so you have the choice of different songs in different rooms or the same song playing anywhere, for example. As I mentioned in the previous video though, you are tied to Apple as you would expect, so if you invest in a HomePod but decide to make the switch from an iPhone, the HomePod is rendered almost useless. So whilst it touts some great features and seems like an impressive competitor to the Amazon Echo and Google Home, you have to make a commitment to it. Now moving from a product developed by a $900 billion corporation to the Eve V, a laptop-tablet hybrid funded by crowdsourcing. The EV is the first laptop to not only be funded by crowdsourcing, but be successfully funded. And one look at the marketing for this thing shows a real desire to move away from the constraints of corporate products. They aren't selling us this device, we are giving it to ourselves on our own terms. It's a strong campaign, certainly, but only as strong as the device being sold, because if the features and components aren't there, then the EV is nothing more than a lazy protest. Anti-corporate marketing aside, crowdsourcing a laptop seemed like a strange idea to me at first, but to expect the general public to fund such a ubiquitous piece of tech would suggest some attractive and unique features. In an effort to ensure that the EV not only remains cool but also quiet, it uses a unique copper heat pipe cooling system that allows the device to run at high loads without thermal throttling in complete silence. A battery that lasts. Boasting a 48-watt battery, the EV proudly boasts the ability to watch all 9 hours and 56 minutes of Game of Thrones in a single charge. It doesn't specify how long the battery will last for general use, but 10 hours of use continually watching videos is impressive enough. Frankly, a long-lasting battery might be the least exciting feature, but if you ask me, it's the most useful. The EV would suffer more with more exotic features, but an awful battery. Additionally, taking a page from the growing efficiency of smartphones, it has a fingerprint scanner and a scratch-resistant screen, always useful for a portable device. What you might be noticing here is that the EV has no one feature that is good enough as a selling point. Instead, the design is focused more on fixing the problems that other laptops suffer. It's an efficiency machine, cutting through the hassle to give users the optimal laptop. But this is also a direct competitor to the Microsoft Surface line, also making it a competitor to the competitors, which brings up the next point: how do they all compare? Fortunately, as with everything else, the promotional marketing is quick to answer that question. Anyone in the market for a 2-in-1 laptop tablet will struggle to find a better alternative to the EV, which is even more impressive when you consider that it was crowdfunded. Clearly there is a market for this device, whether you hate corporations or simply just hate your laptop.
It's been made by our passionate community. V. What people want.
And finally, NVIDIA has announced the VOLTA GPU line, named after Alessandro Volta, the Italian physicist whose invention of the electrical battery provided the first source of continuous current. The name VOLTA was chosen because it suggests that these cards are going to be more energy efficient, always a plus for powerful GPUs. No word on a specific release date yet.
Bringing solutions to the world's greatest challenges within reach. Learn more at nvidia.com/Volta.